my name's Debra Kellogg, and I've been asked today to speak about empowering your employees with modern learning, communication, and performance tools for success. So Open Sesame invited me to speak today, and they have been a wonderful partner with Toshiba. They have a very comprehensive catalog. They've helped us curate all the content, and they have stellar customer service. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about challenges, partnerships, development, culture shifts, and end deliverables. My name's Debra Kellogg. I work for Toshiba America Business Solutions. I'm in my 27th year of employment with them, and it's been a wonderful experience, and my background has always been education, development, performance, and communications. So challenges, don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. Sometimes we get stuck with just things being good as they are instead of trying to go to the next level. So what are our challenges at Toshiba? We had been in a shared service environment, and all of the shared service opportunities went back to the business, so I returned to Toshiba America Business Solutions in 2016 with no partners and no platform. So we had to start from scratch for our whole audience. We needed training programs. We needed to be able to track compliance. We wanted a new performance management program, and we needed a way to communicate to our workforce. So what was the challenge? Sourcing new partners, develop and design new programs, and we had very limited resources. What were our other challenges? We have a very diverse workforce. We have manufacturing, we have engineering, we have sales, we have a corporate environment. So we really needed to partner with someone that had a tool and programs to meet the needs of all these different audiences. So partnerships, you really need effectively. Change is almost impossible without industry-wide collaboration, cooperation, and consensus. So we had to start with our executive team, our managers, talk to everybody about what the employees' needs were, what their visions were, and most importantly, we needed to find partners. So we went out on an RFP and we selected Saba and Open Sesame. So development is about planning and bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now, right? We needed solutions today, right? We didn't have time to brainstorm in a year implementation. We needed to partner with someone very quickly. So we had brainstorming sessions, and we decided we wanted a platform that would communicate everything out to the employees. We needed educational programs to help with the skill level of our employees, both nationally and internationally. And what were we going to do about performance management? So we went to the executive team after brainstorming, and we came up with 3 ideas. Toshiba Connect. We wanted to have connection points for the employees to be able to find everything they needed at their fingertips. We really wanted to bring a corporate academy in to have all the skills necessary for people and to learn and grow and develop. And then the performance program. We were tired of the stack rankings and ratings and looking in the rearview mirror and judging people on behavior for the last year. We really wanted a new concept that was employee-centric, all about feedback and goals. So the culture shift, that's probably the most difficult thing when you're trying to implement new programs. But all the studies are telling us today, culture is about performance. And people really, at the end of the day, want to know they did a good job, they contributed both to their self-growth and to the company they work for. So here was our vision. We wanted those connection points I talked about 24/7, and the only common thread through all my meetings was ease of use and simple processes, right? Everybody's very busy in the world we live in today, and we want these tools to be something that will highlight and help, not hinder. So we looked at Toshiba Academy, and then we also kept hearing about this new dialogue type performance program that was really based on frequent small conversation, clarity of goals, clarity of results, and really here we have the business strategy, how do the teams fit into the strategy, and how does the individual skill level fit into making sure that we're headed the right direction as a company. So the whole theme through all of it is coaching is key. So end deliverables. We had all the concepts, right? Now here's where the rubber hits the road and we really need to figure out how are we going to build this. So a different result requires doing something different. Change is something that is always going to happen in all of our companies, right? And I honestly think after implementing several LMSs and partnerships throughout my career, starting from scratch is sometimes easier. So we had a clean slate to start again. So here's the pitch we had. Toshiba Academy was going to be phase 1, Toshiba Connect was phase 2, and Toshiba Ignite was phase 3, and I'll break these down for you. So the strategy around the Toshiba Academy was to build a catalog of offerings and tracks by skill, topic, and audience. We had someone on our executive team who had come from a previous employer, and they had spent a lot of money and implemented 5,000 courses, and nobody took them, and it was a big expense. So he was very driven that we have skill, topic, and tracks, and that it was very, depending upon your skill and your position, you would be able to find topics easily. So here's what it looked like, and thanks to the curation of the Open Sesame team, out of all of their catalog, we were able to bring in courseware under all these different areas. Some cool things that we did under manager was if you're a brand new manager and you've never managed before, we have Manager 100, which is how do you go from bud to boss, and it gives you all the skills for that transition. We have a Manager 101, which is basic skill, 201, which is managing teams, and 301, which is managing the business. We also have Latin America, so we had a whole program for them that has been going for 12 months, and then we have all these other topics as well. We've also been able to use the content to help people grow into new positions. Our subsidiary had some people they wanted to move from kind of administration into solutions, project management. So we were able to put together a 2-month program of online skills, online meetings, and then the folks came out for 2 days in California and we taught them the different softwares and the different programs, and that was a huge success. So we're now looking at different ways to take this content and build programs around it. Phase 2, the Toshiba Communication Portal, Toshiba Connect. This connects our employees, our company, our brand, and all the programs at the employee's fingertips. What does that look like? We have Toshiba in the news. With all the disasters last year, we created an emergency preparedness site, so whether it was a hurricane, a fire, a flood, all the government agencies are on one page for people to find emergency contacts. So here's everything that the employees need at their fingertips on one home page. So this really is our communication portal. Phase 3, the Toshiba Performance Program, Toshiba Ignite. This concept, frequent small conversations based on clarity around goals, based on clarity around the results, and again, aligning the business, the team, and the employee, both skill-wise and business-wise. So here's what the process looks like at a glance. All employees have to have 3 business and 2 personal development goals. Managers the same. We do have some force goals from the executive team. We just rolled out last year a 5-part generational series for all managers, so we have different topics. So through the performance monitoring, we've built all of this in the SABA system. Goal setting is there, real-time feedback is there, project check-ins are there, quarterly status checks. So it's really a way for people to meet with their manager, track their goals, track their performance in a dialogue type conversation. And it's solely driven by the manager. And then employee development plans, we have Toshiba Academy, amongst a lot of other things here that people can sign up to take as well. The main thing to make this program a success is ongoing 2-way communication between the manager and the employee. So what did the process setup look like? Initially, we trained all the managers, then they had one-on-one meetings with the employee to share the program, overview of expectations, we created some support materials. Every employee scheduled and calendared one-on-one meetings for 12 months. They could be weekly, bi-weekly, minimum of monthly to talk about performance goals, progress, help they might need. initial goal setting meeting, and then the employee goes back into the SABA system, they add their goals in there, and then in all the one-on-one meetings, employees show their progress. If they need help from the manager, they'll say, hey, I have a roadblock here, can you fix this, etc. So it's really a coaching program. So everybody says, okay, if you have a coaching program, how are you going to measure for a salary action plan? So every quarter we have the managers answer 5 questions on their employees, right? And then keep that, so at the end of the year they've got progress. The other really good thing is if you want to promote someone, you now have a historical of all the programs they've completed. So we'll look at 5 performance factors in conjunction with market rates. So proficiency, has the employee completed compliance training, development activities, have they acquired any new skills? Performance feedback is collected in the tool, peer feedback, have they hit the project or assigned targets for the quarter, and the value of the contribution to the rest of the team. The one factor that's so important in this new concept is you're having that dialogue at least weekly or bi-weekly or monthly with your manager, instead of the old system where you sat down in January, you had goals, and then in December your manager rated you on those goals, and half the time that isn't even what you worked on that year, right? So it's really a coaching and feedback program. So in order to make this successful, we have 5 competencies a manager must excel in: coaching, employee recognition, team building, goal development, communication, and we've put training tracks together with all these skills. Management toolkit. We created feedback essentials, one-on-one meetings. SABA has great resources, Open Sesame has great resources, the internet has great resources, so we have a lot of really cool tools for them. One of the SABA tools was 101 questions to ask in one-on-one meetings by topic. So if you've got a new manager, he can take that and make that his roadmap for the 12 months of meetings. Communication, listening, coaching, difficult interactions, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. The way we set up the content of Open Sesame, I have coffee in 10 minutes. We have 10-minute tracks, which are just little videos and things based on topic. If you getting ready to have a difficult conversation and that's not your strong point, we have 30-minute courses. If you've never done it, we have full-on in-depth skill practice. So the whole academy is set up on quick hits, right? A little bit more content, some activities, and then a full-blown program. We also created checklists, how-to guides, and more, so people have the tools they need since this was a new concept. So in summary, I would have never been able to do this without the partnerships of SABA and Open Sesame. Partnerships are key when making decisions based on platforms and content. I am by no means the expert. I can't go out and know everything that's out in the world, but these are our vendors and our partners, and they're already doing this for hundreds of clients and thousands of clients. So they can share best practices with you. We were able to build and launch in a very short amount of time. Cultural shift and really adapting all of our behaviors to this new program has been very, very successful. The program's been live since October 2017. We have good news, right? Our president is also the president of another Toshiba organization, so we're currently taking these 3 programs and we're going to be launching them globally next month. So we've been very busy on that project. So how can my journey benefit you, right? We need to be aware of what others are doing, applaud their efforts, acknowledge their successes, and encourage them in their pursuits. When we all help one another, everyone wins. The CLO conferences are my favorite conference on top of Open Sesame and SABA's, because you get to be in there with other people who are in the trenches doing the work you're doing, and maybe they've already gone through an issue that you're just starting to go through. So with that being said, here's my information, Debra Kellogg at tabs.toshiba.com. If you have any questions or if I can, shed any light on some of the decisions we made and why, I'd be happy to. Yes, that is Bill Nye the Science Guy. One more topic I just wanted to talk about today. Toshiba partners with the Science Association in Washington, D.C., and we work with the schools, or even if children are homeschooled, they submit science projects. The winners go to Washington, D.C. every year, and that's where this picture was taken last year. And They get a scholarship for their school, they get a scholarship for their education. We've been doing this for 25 years, and a lot of those projects the kids came up with have been patented, and it's technology that we all use today. So if you have kids, grandkids, teachers in your family, have them Google Exploravision, because it's an awesome opportunity that Toshiba provides as part of our CSR initiative. So thank you for your time today. It was an honor to speak with you, and if you need any help, just holler. Thank you very much.